So the discussion, which is where they sort of go over all their findings and they put them all together. They begin with women with higher IQ scores in childhood were significantly less likely to marry than women with lower childhood IQ scores. Those women with higher childhood IQ scores showed a dramatic decline in marriage prospects. So now we're getting into our limitations of the study and what might be some of the weaknesses in terms of the method they used and the measurements that they used in order to determine the trends between marriage and IQ and gender. So one of the weaknesses, which I've highlighted here in the top line, is that the sense. Oh, I just keep doing that. Apologies. There we go. So it was conducted when the sample was age 50 years old, by which age most of those who would marry would have done so. By age 50, the majority of people are married. Therefore, as the researchers have noted, marriage rates among the study sample were slightly higher than in the general population. So that is already a limitation that we can draw out. That is, this sample was not necessarily representative of the general population, because that was a higher marriage rate because of the older age at which they recorded the results. And they've said this here, it cannot be assumed representative of a general population sample. The second limitation that they've pointed out is that certain groups within the population might be underrepresented, such as those people who were unemployed and people with common mental or physical illnesses. And that is because these might be associated with failure to marry. So it might be that those that are unemployed or those with a severe mental illness might be less likely to be married. And this is particularly important because this generation, i.e. the cohort were born in 1921, were impacted by World War II, which was between 1939 and 1945. And therefore, those that survived that and were included in the study might not be typical of other UK birth cohorts. So again, we're seeing the sample size, or the whole sample, although it was a big sample, the size was good, it's not representative of a general population. It's quite a specific sample, it's old, and it is also potentially excluding certain demographics, such as those who are unemployed or those with physical or mental conditions.